All right, so I just got done watching Miguel and Ravi do their videos on Wrestlemania 32, and it was really cool. I listened to both of them. Each of them did like 20, 30-minute videos, so kind of reliving some happy memories. Yeah, Dallas wasn't all that bad. There was parts of it that were super awkward and super uncomfortable. But for the most part, the Dallas trip, like, you can still look back on it and say, you know what, that was a cool trip to be on, even though it might have been like, it was like super awkward and super weird. But I mean, we still win. We still had fun. Ate some good food and had a good time. Not the Whataburger. And so, anyways, so I get to Dallas. The boys are already there. Ravi and Miguel and Stevie. They're already there. They've been there since Wednesday. So whatever. So I fly out Friday morning, and I get delayed. My flight gets really delayed in Vegas. So I'm sitting at Vegas airport for like, I had left that morning, like 6 a.m. and finally like 4 o'clock I get out of Vegas and I fly to Dallas, and I'm all fucked up because of the time zone thing, so I really don't know what time it is and whatnot. And so I get to Dallas, and I had been delayed pretty much all day since 6 o'clock in the morning. So I get to Dallas, and I'm tired. And I'm concerned, like, oh shit, what am I going to do now? I need to get, like, in a hotel room and sit down and unpack my shit and relax. So I don't know who the fuck to call. I'm in the Dallas airport. I'm trying to get a hold of Miguel. I'm trying to get a hold of Ravi. I'm trying to get a hold of anybody. I didn't know who to get a hold of to get in the hotel so I can just sit down for a couple minutes. And these boys are in the middle of a wrestling show, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get in the hotel? And so I get to the front desk at the hotel in Dallas, and the guy's like, well, I said, well, I'm a guest of, Ravi. I'm a guest of Miguel. And they're like, well, we need more than that. They go, well, you need to call one of them and have them verify that you're a guest. And I went, oh shit, what am I going to do here? How am I going to get a hold of these boys? I don't know nothing about Dallas, the area where they're holding the show that they're at, because they were at Access the first Friday night, or they were at NXT the first Friday night. I knew they were having fun, and I was like, fuck, dude, how am I going to get a hold of these boys? What do I do? Just hang around here at the hotel and just wait 4 or 5 hours? Because I didn't know if they were going to be off drinking or partying, or if they were going to come back to the hotel at all. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm trying to flag one of them down. I finally get a hold of Miguel. This was really cool. Miguel helped me out. He says he and Ravi wound up getting me checked in the hotel. They had to stop their wrestling show, whatever, in the middle of their match, and stop for me being a pain in the ass. They had to stop the show, whatever, walk away and call the hotel. So whatever, I get in the room that Friday night, and I'm cool now because basketball's on. I'm in Dallas. All the wrestling stuff is everywhere. I know I'm going to meet these guys, and I know what I'm getting ready to do on Saturday. I'm getting ready to go to the Von Erich's grave. I'm getting ready to go to the Sportatorium. I'm getting ready to go to a show with Miguel, and of course I'm getting ready to go see the big one at the big stadium on Sunday. So, the room was small. It was okay. I was just honored to be there with those guys. It was really nice of them to invite me in their hotel, so I wasn't going to bitch and complain about sleeping on the floor. I wasn't going to bitch and complain about anything, really. I was just happy to be there. I was happy to be at WrestleMania with those guys, and they were all really nice. They were nice as nice could be. I'm just a socially awkward person, so sometimes I can't think of stuff to say. But Miguel was really good about that. He helped me through it. I was just kind of nervous being around new people and stuff. And so we did that, and that was Friday, and hung out with those guys, and we had some beers. And we got up early Saturday. We didn't really sleep that much Friday night into Saturday because we were talking, and I felt really bad for Stevie. I didn't understand what he was going through until I came home from Dallas later that year, and I got to understand what Stevie was going through. So I thought he was a little bit off because I'm used to seeing him hyper and energetic, and he had some personal stuff. And I didn't get it until I got home, and I got my own dish, my own taste of the personal stuff he's going through. But he's doing real good now. So, like, Stevie is one of those guys that reaches out to me pretty much every day on Twitter just to see how the hell I'm doing. And I appreciate that, Stevie. So anyway, Saturday, so we get up. Me and Miguel and Stevie are hanging out. We get to go over to the Sportatorium, and I just lost my shit. And Miguel was there, Stevie was there. And we get to the graveyard, where the Von Erichs are buried. And I was like, okay, this is cool, man, to pay respects to the how do you say it? Addison, whatever, the Von Erich family. So we get there. We're in the graveyard for a while trying to find the graves. It didn't come very quickly. Like, Stevie had to, Miguel was watching the YouTube video, but it was Stevie the one who actually found the graves. We walked around that damn graveyard for a while. We finally found it. We did that, and then me and Miguel broke off. We went over to an Evolve show at some kind of weird ass barn, and I was taken back by all of it. I had no idea how good Drew McIntyre was and Chris Hero was until I physically saw him in front of my eyes, and I went, holy shit, they are really hitting each other hard, and they are wrestling hard. And I went, this is old school vintage wrestling. So I left that barn for Evolve thinking, whoa. The trip was a bit awkward for me too, because the whole town of Dallas was all about NXT and the new product, and everyone was talking about the NXT show. Everybody on the bus, all the guys in the room, everybody was NXT, and I wasn't on board. Oops, dropped my phone on my lunch here. What a dumbass. Anyway, so everybody was all about NXT this, NXT that, and I wasn't into it at all. All I was thinking about all weekend was Shane and The Undertaker, and I couldn't get anybody on board with me. Justin, I met him for the first time, and him and Griff were two of the nicest guys that I could meet. I didn't see Ravi a lot on the trip. Ravi was busy doing his own thing. Griff was super cool. Justin was super cool. Like, I got to hang out with Miguel, and Miguel was like nice as nice could be. Didn't get a chance to talk to Stevie as much because he was really busy, doing his own thing. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the room sleeping on the floor was like mega uncomfortable, and there was so many guys in our room. We had legions of guys from YouTube just following us up and down the streets like we were heroes because we were popular on YouTube. And so these guys, we had at one point, it was like a Saturday night, we must have had 15, 20, 25 people in the room with guys I had no clue they were. I was just on my little sleeping bag on the floor, and I had 15 guys in the room thinking to myself, goddamn, I'm never going to go to sleep tonight. I got 15 guys in my room I never seen before in my life. And it was just a free-for-all. I mean, really, I was like, who the fuck are we getting followed by? And that was, eventually they'd scatter off and go back to their hotels and stuff. But there was really no rules or anything like that. It was just like guys just hanging out. And so I broke off. I went over to the local hotel. I was following all these guys around, and they were following me. And we wound up in some hotel. We're sitting there, and we're sitting on this little bench. I guess that's because that's where the wrestlers were, and we want to see the wrestlers and stuff. So a bunch of them walking by us. Lance Storm, and who else? Matt Hardy. They're all walking by us. And fucking Cat, Jerry Lawler's girlfriend, walks by me. She comes right up to my face and she goes, Marty? Is that you, Marty? And I went, what the fuck? And then she goes, come to the bar with me, Marty. So I had the Cat, and she literally thought that I was Marty Jannetty. And I was sitting next to Steven, and Steven says, well, he's not Marty Jannetty, but I'll go to the bar with you. Next thing I know, my buddy Steven, arm in arm with Victoria, arm in arm with the Cat, that motherfucker went right to the bar with them. And I went, my God, what just happened? Luke was sitting there. This is a true story. And so that was a highlight of the weekend, like seeing Kat and Victoria go to the bar with Steven. I was so taken. I would have gone to the bar with him, but I was married at the time, and I was like, that is not a good situation for a married man. So that happens on Saturday. We're up super late. And then we get to Sunday, and Sunday morning wakes up, and I'm pumped, man. I cannot wait to go to Wrestlemania. I can't wait to get to the stadium. And so my dumbass got on the bus early that day and left, which was a huge mistake because I must have waited in that damn parking lot of that beautiful stadium for 6-7 hours before they finally fixed whatever they needed to fix and let us in. I didn't even get in until the free-for-all. And so I had missed some of the free-for-all because I had stood outside so long, and I had gone through this huge fiasco where I actually wound up losing my ticket in the fucking parking lot. I lost my ticket, and so I'm walking the entire AT&T Stadium parking lot just trying to find the damn thing. And so I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I knew there was a sports bar across the street. I'm like, what do I do here? I came all the way here just to lose my ticket. Should I just go over to the sports bar and watch the WrestleMania that way? And I'm like, hell no. I need to find a way to get my ticket. And so I go to the box office. They really didn't want to help me. And I said, look, I'm in a spot here. I need a ticket. And so they wound up cutting me a deal on a ticket. They gave me a $400 ticket for $118, and I wound up actually getting better seats doing it that way. After all that drama, losing my ticket in the parking lot, thinking I was going to be shut out, I was like, what the fuck? Imagine being at a WrestleMania and losing your ticket in the parking lot. I mean, I was on my own too. The other guys had broken off. You know, Miguel and Stevie and those guys were in a little group, and Ravi was in a group with his friends, and I was flying solo on this one. When I lost my ticket, I mean, I was by my damn self, literally. So we go in. I get there finally after standing out in the parking lot, lose my ticket for 6 hours. We get in. Seats are really good. The show was pretty good. I'm just enjoying the matches. And what can I say? The show was long and it was a train wreck. And my favorite part of that Mania was definitely Shane and The Undertaker. I had anticipated that match pretty much all weekend. So that was a highlight for me. Kind of sucked though, because halfway through the show, my phone ran out of batteries. And I went, God damn it. And so I couldn't take any more. I wanted to take as many pictures of it as I could. And my phone ran out of batteries. And so we get out of the show. And there's a bunch of buses to take us back to the hotel. And my dumbass, there was 30 buses out there. My dumbass couldn't figure out which bus to get on. So I went from bus to bus to bus. Finally got on the right damn bus. Got back to the hotel way after the guys because I had been bus hopping, trying to figure out which one to freaking get on. Finally get back to the room, and at this point, I'm exhausted. I had been up for like 2-3 days, hanging out with these party animals. I'm a lot older than these guys, and so finally I knew my flight was at 5 a.m. and the following Monday morning, and I was like, I cannot wait to get out of Dallas. This trip has been it's been a little rough. I've been on a hotel floor. Not that I'm not appreciative, because I am. I've been in an awkward situation with guys that I'm sure I'd become great friends with if I had more time. But this wasn't a Skype call. This was real life, and these were basically strangers, except a few of them that I trusted and I knew. But for the most part, I was hanging out with strangers in a hotel room with 15 people, 20 people stepping all over me when I was trying to sleep that I didn't know. You know, and so it was a little awkward in that situation. It was a little awkward, too, losing my ticket. It was a little awkward having to be Gemini when I just wanted to be Vince, because people were coming up to me and expecting the Gemini character who did all the John Cena videos and this and that. I really wasn't that guy. I was more of just a laid-back, chill, nice guy. The Gemini was a character who would do crazy things to create views and attention, but that really wasn't who I am. When I get around to social settings, I'm actually a really quiet guy. But it was cool seeing Luke and stuff. That part was pretty awesome. Like, me and him have always clicked. Like, we had really good jokes, and the next day we went by Dealey Plaza where JFK got shot, and I was with Miguel that day, and that was really funny. We had a really good time with that, and we saw some cool stuff. And Miguel was right when he said that the food choices in Dallas were a huge disappointment. It was terrible. You had like a whole room full of guys just starving to death just to eat anything. It was bad. There was a McDonald's up the street, and I ate there once. But I was like, God damn, there's got to be some food joints around here somewhere. And I mean, I came home. I was so hungry, and I had a long flight home that day. I got delayed in Las Vegas on the way home again. I got delayed in Vegas on the way there, and then on the way back, and I was like, God, this Las Vegas airport sucks. But it was really cool. It was a cool experience for me. I realized my age, though, when I went on the trip, because I was much older than these guys. At the time, I was 36. These guys were all 22, 23. Breach was a little older, too, but these guys were okay with partying and staying up all night and not really sleeping much. But for me, I needed, honestly, if I could have done the trip again, and this isn't anything personal, but I would have stayed in the hotel room where I had my own bed, and I could just lay in the bed and watch TV. Like, that's, where there was no hotel rooms. Dallas was sold out, though, so I needed to be in a different hotel where I could just chill on my own, and I would have been a lot more comfortable, because I would have been able to sleep without the 15, 20 guys stepping over me when I was in the sleeping bag. I mean, these guys were wild, man. I mean, it was probably the wildest thing I ever did in my life. And this was actually, if you think about it, my 2016, when they did WrestleMania 32, was a totally awful year. I mean, this is the same year, that I lost my wife, I lost my house, my cat died, I broke my wrist at work. I actually contemplated suicide at one point in 2016, and because of some strong friends and some counseling who said, I didn't go that direction. I actually turned my life around and just became more of a devoted father, and a devoted worker, and a family man, and I raised my values up in my life. But if anything, that I should have known that there was trouble in my marriage at the time in 2016, because that was the first year that my wife ever said it was okay for me to go to Wrestlemania because she didn't want to be around me. So 2016, WrestleMania 32 comes with bittersweet memories of what 2016 was, and it was just a bad year. It was. I've had a lot more. I had more fun with those guys in San Jose than I had with them in Dallas. I just, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know what Breach was going through, but it was honestly, it was not a bad trip. And Miguel was really nice for letting me stay in the hotel because it was a free hotel, and I didn't have to pay for it. And I mean, I slept on the floor. Yeah, I was uncomfortable, but I'm not ungrateful for the time that I got with those guys, because trust me, being in a wrestling match with those guys having fun was about the only fun I had in 2016 before I got divorced and lost everything. So I will cherish those happy memories in Dallas with those guys. I will cherish the time me and Luke were joking around at the 7-Eleven, just cracking jokes on each other. I will cherish the breakfast with Stevie and Miguel that day. I'll cherish meeting Ravi and Justin, two of the nicest guys that you could ever want to meet. I'll cherish the stories, and I'll cherish how devoted wrestling fans those guys are. They're definitely a lot more hardcore than me. I'll cherish all those memories for the rest of my life. I won't forget WrestleMania 32. I won't forget the guys that I was there with. I wish it could have been under better circumstances, but I won't forget seeing the wrestlers and meeting them and spending time with Miguel, taking me to Evolve and opening up my eyes to how wonderful Drew McIntyre was, because he's really a good champion and a great wrestler. And Chris Hero was the same thing. I became an instant Chris Hero fan and an instant Drew McIntyre fan for the rest of my life. And I'll remember the good things. These guys, yes, it was the worst trip, for them, but I'll remember WrestleMania 32 for me in Dallas in 2016 as a happy memory, even though I went through some hurdles. I'll remember that as being the highlight of my 2016. And thank you guys for hanging out with me in Dallas. And it was nice meeting everyone who was there with me. I got to meet a bunch of you in the parking lot, and I made friends with Steven, Triple H fan, and I made friends with a lot of people, lifelong friendships. And so I know that a lot of WrestleMania 32 was a fail, but meeting you guys and spending time with you guys and having those happy memories was not a fail. And that's what I remember mostly about Dallas. Thank you.